Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, August 23rd. This will be a video for those of you that use charts within your trading, or if you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader. First, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candle that you see right there, or candlestick more specifically, will be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, ticker symbol FULC. Very nice move today, and a good solid pattern has formed. And you got to think that a lot of people are watching this pattern. And when a lot of people are watching the same patterns and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can definitely produce some very dynamic movements. So let me get that part there, change that to green to represent more so a support, and then maybe make this easier to see. Let's just keep it all one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the huge explosion right there. And for you golfers out there, make it a little bit more visual, put our golf hole down here, and this would be known as a bull pennant pattern. So while nothing is guaranteed, is it plausible? Is it valid to think that if the price can come back up here and get a break up through the top part of that pattern, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? That certainly seems plausible to me. So if you like bull pennant patterns, you like stocks down below $10, keep an eye on it. Next one here, ticker symbol VFS, and same general idea that we just talked about. So I'm going to go through this a little bit quicker, as I'm not going to sit here and just repeat myself over and over again because you just heard me say it. Now, maybe it's a little different, but same general idea. We have a pattern here that you got to think a lot of people are going to be watching. Let me change that to green. And would this be a bull pennant pattern? I would not call it that. I would call it a bull flag pattern. So we have, again, resistance, we have support, we have the big move up right there. So this would be more of a bull flag pattern. Now, bull flag, bull pennant, some people will have a fist fight over this. I don't really think it means that big of a difference, because at the end of the day, what matters most is if you want to play some sort of breakout, then you got to think a lot of other people are. So it brings about those potential self-fulfilling prophecies where if the price comes up here, people start buying just because it's breaking out of the pattern and I'm a breakout player, so therefore I'm supposed to buy. So I want to reiterate, not that that's guaranteed to happen. Those don't exist, but it's certainly a plausible outcome. So maybe you are somebody that gets in a fist fight over bull flags versus bull pennants and you prefer bull flags, so keep an eye on this one. Next one, HKD, a big mover from the past. This one has made some absolutely epic explosions, and it's come back to life today. You can see down here the volume, good, respectable volume. And now what makes this interesting is it did make a big move here, sure, but there's this pullback. But at least with the pullback, it started to go sideways. Now, let me be very clear. Just because something goes sideways does not mean for sure guaranteed a pullback is over, but it becomes plausible, and it becomes that much more plausible in this situation when you see where it has gone sideways, and that is right there at that pink line there, the 200 period moving average. So again, does the fact that it's going sideways at the 200 period moving average mean this pullback is over and means for sure it's going to bounce? Again, of course not, but it certainly becomes a plausible scenario. So if you like to play these sorts of pullbacks where you get a big move up, you get a pullback down, and now you're getting some consolidation right at a key level of support, then I definitely keep an eye on this one. Next one here, NVOS, and I suppose I probably should have put this in the other list of those bull flags and bull pennants because we have essentially that once again. The difference here being for those of you that like to play those patterns, but you prefer to play penny stocks, here you go. So once again, we have an area of resistance. We have our area of support, and I'm drawing this a little crudely, but I think we can all agree. And then just because I can't help myself, let's keep it all one color, resistance, support. Nice move up there. Maybe some would say the pull's got to start from there. Again, maybe there's going to be a fist fight after this video. I don't know. But point here being is if you like bull pennants, you like penny stocks, definitely keep an eye on NVOS. Next one here, TSLA Tesla. And a pretty rough day here as it has given back a whole lot of the gains that it accomplished over the past couple of days when you start back to last week and then you go to where it was right there on Monday morning. It is now down quite a bit. Now, has it gone all the way back to where it was? You can't quite say that, but it does become a very valid, question and concern to throw out there. Was this movement here just some sort of big dead cat bounce where the price is about to head right back to where it was? And that seems like a potential scenario here. But the other thing with those potential scenarios is if it does go back to where it was, then you always get to ask yourself, okay, could there be some sort of double bottom bounce down here at And I am a moron. We were looking at ticker symbol TS. Now we are looking at ticker symbol TSLA Tesla. And that makes more sense now in my mind. So I apologize for that. But yeah, there's definitely going to be a fist fight after this video. I'm not even doing the right ticker symbols. But all right, let's get back to it. Tesla actually had a good solid day overall. Why do I mean overall? Well, if you are some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought during that opening 30 minutes right there, then yes, from your perspective, things not looking so good. But overall, even with the pullback here, so yes, technically speaking, today the price did pull back, but if you care about the bigger picture, you're going to be asking yourself the question, well, yeah, sure, the price pulled back today, but what was going on before today? And what was going on before today was you had this big move up here, which means you have yourself another bull flag pattern. Again, I fully understand and agree that if you are a day trader and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 2 minutes, well then yes, from that perspective, you don't care about this bull flag pattern. But that's why I'm trying to emphasize the fact from an overall, standpoint. I do need to change that to a support now. That's just based on a foundational rule that when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. And so far, so good. You can see the price doing a good job of hovering right along that area. If the price does try to recover back upwards, key battleground now to watch is going to be all about that pink line there, 200 period moving average. Real quick, wanted to pause and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering here in a couple of days. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live web class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. Or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Next one here, ticker symbol AMC, and just the bloodshed continues. A nasty, nasty crash down below that area of support right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of these levels as they've, served their purpose now. And pretty much at this point, it's just a bear flag pattern that has formed. So yes, there has been an upwards channel that has formed. There's no doubt about that. But again, from a bigger picture point of view, you have to ask yourself, well, what was going on before this upwards channel? And there's this big move in the downwards direction. So you kind of just notice that it's an upside down bull flag pattern, but that is why you would call it a bear flag. Now, just because something's bearish does not mean that for sure guaranteed the price is going to go downwards. Just like because of all these bullish patterns I've talking about, doesn't mean the price is for sure going to go up. But I'm just saying, be a little skeptical. Sure, it's gone up here a little bit, but be skeptical because I don't think it would catch anybody off guard to then see the price, flush back to the downside. But overall, if you were to, push me into a corner and say summarize AMC, bear flag pattern. Next one, BGLC, and this is a good solid one. Again, the pattern that we've seen here, but what's a little different about this one is I think this area of resistance has just that much better of a track record. So you got to think there's going to be just that many more people watching it, and you have the more eyeballs, the better, because the more eyeballs can create those potential self-fulfilling prophecies. But when you go back here on BGLC and look at this $1.47 mark, so right here, broadly speaking, you can see that the price struggled with that area. And then once again today, you can see the price was hovering right around that area. But if the price can get up there and kind of clear this area, because you do have a bunch of kind of random areas, but if it can get up through that $1.47 mark, then it's essentially put all these levels behind it. Now, that still doesn't guarantee anything, but in my opinion, at least, it creates a little bit more probability of a potential future breakout. But if you like these sorts of situations, some people might say, there's totally going to be a fist fight. Because now the cup and handle people are saying, Clay, you moron, you're missing the cup and handle. There's the cup, there's the handle. So does it get the break to the upside? We'll see what happens. But yes, this video is going to create all kinds of fist fights. Next one, AMD, and overall started off nice with a gap up, has pulled back quite a bit. So want to get this level of support mapped out here as it's one that I'm not going to say is a do or die level, but definitely very important there at 104.35. And the reason why I would say this one's very important for more of a broad sense is that if the price were to come down here and break down below it, what would you have at that point? You would quite literally have the price having gone right back to where it was. And I mean, not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that make great moves up and then go right back to where they were, not exactly a sign of genuine true power. Once more, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but that is why, in my opinion, the 104.35 mark, very, very important. If the price does try to curl back upwards, then nothing new has changed. Still have that red line up there, key level of resistance at 108.60. Next one, PLTR, and overall the chart continues to grind higher and higher. So that's good. I mean, when you just look at where these lows have been, so we had a low there, then you had those lows, and then you look at the low right there, and even if you compare it to that low right there, you can still see, and if you envision these as stair-steps, there are still stair-steps progressing in the upwards direction. So that's always encouraging. But once more, this is one of those situations where tricky to talk about from a presentation standpoint because I don't know what your game plan was, what your strategy was. If you're a day trader who was going to buy and sell within 2 minutes and you bought right there or you bought right there, or even if you bought right there, then yeah, the chart's looking pretty rough for you. But if you do care about the bigger picture point of view, you have those higher lows already. And then you also have yourself a pretty nice little resistance area right there that you got to think a lot of people are watching. So one of those potential self-fulfilling prophecy points where the price can curl back upwards, get to that level and break up through it. Guaranteed? Absolutely not. Valid to think that that break could create additional buying pressure? Absolutely. Next one here, ticker symbol TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ. So if you believe that the NASDAQ market is going to rise, this one will also rise. It just allows you access at a much lower price point. And this will mean a bit more to those of you that watched yesterday's video. But if you did, then hopefully remember me talking about that red line right there at the $39 mark. And you can see right there the price gapped up and surprise, surprise, right where the price got rejected from. And that is the power of charts. So I'll turn that into a quick plug. Definitely go get signed up for that free live online class. Are charts perfect? No, but are they a valuable tool worth implementing? In my opinion, absolutely. And we have, like I said, a real life example of that. If you don't believe me, if you think I just put that line there, I'm not offended. Just go back in the video archive, watch the video from yesterday on the 21st, and you'll see that I had that line right in there. As far as levels of support, nothing concerning here. The area that I talked about yesterday, support 37.60, you can see price got somewhat close to it, but never did actually even test it. So in other words, the price is maintained above not only the 37.60 mark, it has maintained above that purple line too, which is always important. And as you want to see the price showing those signs of progress. And there is still totally plenty of opportunity to put it in progress. In fact, in some senses, not in some senses, we do, a nice little bull pennant, bull flag pattern there, any way you want to look at it. So yes, today individually started off nice with a gap up. Price did pull back, but as you saw, the price is still making overall progress. And as long as the price keeps on building those higher bases, that's what matters most. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Before you go, do a couple things for me. First off, go get signed up for that class. Thursday, August 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and I hope to see you there. And then also hit that like button, leave a comment down below. I know this video is causing all kinds of fist fights, but let's all get along in the comment section. But by hitting the like button, leaving a comment, that helps out these videos. It helps out the channel, and it just encourages me because the channel gets larger and I can just do more stuff with it, and I can do more content. So those little things such as hitting the like button, leaving comments really do help and go a long way. So I thank you in advance for that. And again, go get signed up for that free training.